Hello there, today June 25th and you are at the Polkadot Wyckoff session. So if this is what you're looking for, let's look at what's happening to Polkadot because something very crazy just happened. So let's dive into the chart. So this is the weekly review, and what I mentioned earlier is actually this particular red candle last week and also where we are currently, this little green candle right now. Why I'm saying this, because if we look at this white line over here, if you're new to this, you can look at this over here. It's the long-term playground zone. Basically this white box, much like a football field or soccer field or hockey or whatever, it's like that field. We've got 4 lines. That's the playfield, right? What's so special this time for Polkadot is, if you look at this over here, the 22-23 accumulation cycle, even the lowest point, the spring of Wyckoff stage, wasn't as low as where we are today. Look at this, it went all the way, dipped all the way through. Only at the time when, like, it was in 2020, the price has been that low. So there's no other altcoins, at least those that I covered, is like, I mean the big ones, not like the pump and dump kind of coins. No other altcoins in the top 20 it's exhibiting this behavior, so it's very crazy. So back to the chart here. I've drawn this downward trend box, this blue box over here, last week, and basically it found a little support after the drop last week, and it's kind of bouncing a little bit upwards, but then being suppressed by the white line. You see this over here, right? It tried to go through the white, but then got pushed back down to where the price level currently is. And one way it can happen is, this week it's staying below this, but then next week it can come touch the white line or the top edge of the blue box. So it's still within this downward playground zone or trading zone, or like bull flag as some of the candlestick pattern analysis theory sets. So this is the big picture. This test is way lower than the others. However, I've talked about this many times, selling climax, and we can have more tests that's way lower than the selling climax itself, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So you see this, the selling climax, and then one test, the second test, one lower than another. If the market is going to recover and Polkadot is going to once more get to this level of $9 or $10 even at the peak, this is going to be like over 3 times of gain. But then we have to be very careful. Is it that there are other reasons that causing Polkadot to exhibit this crazy behavior compared to the other altcoins? Is its concept not working? Is its team like having problems, or is the developer community getting smaller? There are lots of things going on. So be sure you do your due diligence and make sure before you get in, you FOMO in, because it's the all-time low, like except from the very beginning. Make sure you do your due diligence on all aspects, right? So don't just jump in because of the price. That's what I'm trying to say. So the support level will be following along this blue box. There's no other reference for the past 5 years that we can take now, because it's already gone below the previous accumulation cycle lows. And then in terms of resistance, I've talked about the white line at around $3.40 or 45 cents. And then next will be the white line at around $5.20. So hopefully it can find a little bit of support and then come bounce up and trade between or around the yellow and the white bottom line again. And in terms of daily trend, we talked about this last week, that it's following a very narrow downward trend. I should now adjust a little. So these things are dynamic, and last time I probably haven't zoomed in that much to draw this trend line or trend box. So I want to make it closer to what it is reflecting now by the candles. So this is where it is, right? Last week I mentioned there is a triangle over here, and the price would go either break the white line or break the blue box. So obviously it happens that it broke the white line, the white support line, and then now it's being suppressed. You see 1 day, 2 day, now the 3rd day. Or try to break above the white line or go back to where it was, but it hasn't been successful so far. Yesterday was a good try, but then you see this little green cross, right? So basically it's saying, okay, somebody trying to push it up. We see the wick over here, and once it gone up that high, then there's some selling force pushing it downwards. So that's why it's being suppressed by the white line. So it's a very good indication that's now become a key resistance level. So here in early mid-April was our only reference at this point. So like I said, if the price continue to go like this, hopefully it will eventually break above this blue box and come back to where the long-term playground zone is. So that's where Polkadot is right now.